my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through some of my favorite books that I think are totally underhyped. Now the reason why I'm filming this today is last upload I did my favorite books that I won't receive criticism on, and a lot of you guys were like, hey, there's books that we know are your favorites and are missing, and I purposely didn't put them in that video because one, I didn't want the video to be too long. Two, the books that were missing in that video, not only have I talked about so many times on my channel, but I also felt were quite underhyped, and I wanted to give them their own video, okay? Their own little moment. I'm in the middle of reading a bunch of new books, so I don't have a lot of recs. So I'm kind of like looking at my archives. What I've uploaded, what I haven't uploaded, all the books on my shelf, trying to pull things from the past and give them to you to entertain you until I come at you with some new recommendations. Is that okay? I hope so. So yes. Underhyped series today. I've got 3 of them, quite a few books in each series, so we're just gonna go over them. I'm gonna show them to you. If you haven't read them, something's up, bitch, you need to read them right this second. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I had a fucking hour dance party yet again before I sat down to film this, which is so annoying because my baby's gonna be back soon and I just got caught up with all the dance moves. Like I was just I don't play a lot of music when baby's around just because he gets overstimulated really easy, and he cries if he doesn't like what music is playing. So when I'm on my own, I like to get it on with the dance moves. These books here I'm going to talk about, as I said, are my favorites, okay? Right or fucking dies. But they're just underhyped, bitch, and I don't see them enough. I don't see them enough. And when I don't see my favorite books enough on social media, I just think, what the fuck is wrong with everyone? Honestly, read these right now. If you're on my channel, we have similar book tastes. So if you have not read any of these, please give them a go. I can almost promise you that you will love them, because if you love the books I read, you'll love these because I love these. So in my last video, I did shout out the Elite Kings Club by Amo Jones, which is my favorite series of all time, especially from her. But I do wholeheartedly love Midnight Mayhem, and I just feel like I don't see it enough. I always see the Elite Kings Club on social media, but I don't see Midnight Mayhem enough, and it's so fucking good. So Midnight Mayhem is a 4-book series. The first 2 books are In Peace Lies Havoc and In Fury Lies Mischief. First off, the covers, so good. Like I love them. I love Amo's covers. They're so unique, but they're not like fugly, okay? They look good on the shelf, and I'm all about my books looking good on the shelf. Then we have In Silence She Screams and In Chaos We Reign. And the reason why I think this is underhyped is 1, I don't see it anywhere, as I said, but 2, the plot is so fucking cool, okay? And just the aesthetic of the whole series. So obviously you can kind of tell from the covers, we're dealing with a circus. So think American Horror Story, that like circus season, I forgot what it's called, but think that, but not horror. It's erotic. And erotic circus, honey. That's what this is. It gives off that circus season, but full of sex, full of attraction, full of chemistry and dominant alpha men and badass bitch characters, which I love. It's Amo Jones, so there is a slice, a little bit of a side of secret society and just like secrets in general, and you're kind of like unraveling the story as you read it, trying to figure out what's going on, who's who. This is definitely perfect for spooky season, like absolutely perfect. I do need to reread, and I don't know when. Not this year. The plots and stuff are way too fresh in my mind, but I do definitely want to reread these as soon as possible. They are so underrated. Like, I love the Elite Kings Club. Ride or die for the rest of my life. Number 1. But this comes second place to Elite Kings. And they also cross over. So that is a double whammy, bitch. I get pins and needles in my legs every time I film. Why? Oh my god, it's so annoying. Why? I feel like there's something wrong with my circulation in my fucking legs, and I don't want to discuss it. But I'm discussing it anyway. I have ranted and raved about this series on my channel the past 2 years, okay? Like, especially at the start of the year and last year. Like, This is so fucking good. It's one of my favorites of all time. That's why it's in this video. But like, seriously, it's also been reread 3 times. I am a vampire witchy bitch at heart, and we know this. We know this. But I steer clear from a lot of paranormal and a lot of fantasy stuff. Okay, fantasy is too much world building for me. And paranormal, I'm snobby with. Okay, I really am snobby with some of it. This slaps hard. Really hard. If you love like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if you watched that when you were a kid or a young adult when you were younger in the early 2000s and 90s, this is what you need to read. The first 2 books are Black Sunshine and also The Blood is Love by Karina Halley. I don't know if I even said Karina Halley. So each book is about a different couple. It's not really a companion novel series, but I guess it is at the same time. But the first 2 is a duet about the first couple that you meet, which is Solon and Lenore. We've got this fucking vampire dude that is like the original vampire, like one of the original vampires. The whole story behind how he was created and shit is just so epic. And he ends up kidnapping this human, and this human is figuring out that she's something that she didn't even know existed. That's all I'm gonna say. Solon is such an alpha, and oh, he is delicious, darling. They're the first 2 books. Start off there, and then you read the 3rd book, which is Night Wolf. Now, Night Wolf is about Wolf and Amethyst. Wolf is a vampire, Amethyst is a human. Amethyst lives in this house with Wolf and Solon, and she has known them for a very long time, and she works for them. This is a friends to lovers, and it's the best friends to lovers I've ever read. Like, it's so good, and it's so swoony. It's also quite emotional, and it made me cry, okay? And that doesn't really happen much, okay? Not often. So good. I've read this more times than the rest of the books, but this is just, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I slapping? I'm slapping air. I'm slapping air. That's how good it is. Please read this. Honestly, if you just want to read one, you can just read this, but please read them all because it's better. It's better. And then we have this duet, which is about a different couple. We've got Blood Orange and Black Rose. This is about the real life Dracula and a woman who keeps coming in and out of his life. Can't say too much because I will spoil the plot and story, but this was really good. One of my top favorite reads of this year. That one was my top favorite read of last year. This one is in the top favorite of this year. Karina Halley is definitely one of my favorite authors, and I find she is quite underrated. I see her fantasy novels quite a lot on social media. Like, she came out with that mermaid one recently. I did try to read it, but I get freaked out by the ocean. So I don't know if a mermaid story is going to sit well with me. I was into it, and then I was like, creeped out by like the sea creatures, like that, you know what I mean? So I didn't continue on with it. But Karina Halley writes a lot of fantasy, paranormal, contemporary. She writes everything. She's in her fantasy era right now, which is cool for her. Go her. And I know a lot of people love her fantasy books, but that paranormal series should not be fucking slept on, and it is slept on. I do not see it enough, and I'm mad. I'm mad. So please check it out. Please check it out because it's so fucking good, man. So fucking good. Even if you don't read witches or paranormal stuff with vampires and stuff, I honestly recommend you try. Like, if you like Vampire Diaries, you can read this type of shit, you know what I mean? And if you're in a slump and you're still trying to read contemporary, bitch, go to paranormal. Paranormal always gets me out of a slump. Not recently, but most of the time. Like, if I feel like I'm slumping, I will jump to a paranormal romance before I try like a, you know, general fiction fucking book or something. You know what I mean? Like, I go there first because it usually always works. I mentioned Talon in my last video to do with Carrie Cole because I love Carrie Cole and I love this book. It's one of my favorite books from Carrie. But this series in general, okay, this series in general. First off, Talon. I wanted to name my son Talon, and I didn't because my partner didn't like it. But we did name him with a T name. So I was able to win with that, but just not Talon. But how cute is the name Talon? The Ashes and Embers series, like Rockstar, you know I don't like love Rockstar romances. I feel like they can be really, really corny at times, but this one slaps real hard, okay? And We've got so many different tropes. There's BDSM, marriage of convenience type of vibe. We've got forced proximity. What else do we have? Amnesia, age gap where the female's older. So yes, this is something that I feel like is really slept on and I don't see a ton. I know a lot of you that watch my videos probably have already read this. This popped off and was quite popular before, you know, Bookclub came about a couple of years ago. So if you have read it, if you haven't, where you been at, okay? Don't get scared away with the rockstar romance. Because I know a lot of people will be like, rockstar romance isn't my thing. It's not my thing either, okay? I'm very snobby with rockstar romances, but this one's really good. It's really good, and it's carry-on. So they're beautifully written. They're sexy. You swoon. There's emotions. There's good smut. Like, oh, if I could reread this again for the first time. This is one of those series that I would 100% pay to wipe my memory clean of so I could reread it or sell my soul. I've said that before about a couple of series, but this one's one of them that I would be like, oh, can I please just reread it for the first fucking time? I have such a good memory. It sucks with books. There's so many people I know that like read a book and then forget about it like 2 weeks later. So it's like when they go to reread, they really enjoy rereading because they're like, oh my God, I forgot that that happened. Not me, bitch. I've read so many romances, like so many books in general. I think I've clocked like, I think I'm like over 500 now possibly. And I remember like every plot from every book. I cannot be the only one that remembers everything. So that's why I don't reread a lot, because I remember too much. Storm is great. That's the first one. That's really good, okay? I've also done like a whole Carrie and Cole like video where I go in depth about each book. I will link it at the end of this video. So if you're interested in watching that, you totally can. I'll link the videos that I spoke about Carrie, Ammo, and if I can find the videos where I spoke about the Karina Halley vampire series, I'll link them all at the end of this video so you can click and watch if you're interested. Okay, they're older videos, but same, but different. That's it for today's video. Short and sweet today, not a long one. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, thumbs it up. Let me know in the comments below if you have any series that you think are underhyped that I haven't recommended or you haven't heard me talk about. Let me know in the comments below, okay? We'll do standalones in the next couple of weeks. That's it, bitches. I'll see you in the next one. Next week, possibly. Bye.